Rod. It's 4,000 years on. I am King Rod. I rule 1/3 of Mesopotamia. I have astronomers, advisors, attendants and slaves. I have concubines and of course my wife, who is of my superior quality. My favourite of this entourage is a mad old astronomer called Aristar. I love this old rascal. Even at the age of 127, he's full of ideas and esoteric experiments. Let me tell you of his latest. I must say, though, at the outset, that Aristar is a sphere earther. I know. He's completely insane. Yet, Aristar is eccentrically endearing. His latest experiment, then, I will describe to you. In Egypt, 100 miles apart, are two obelisks. One is in Alexandria and one in some other provincial town or other. Let's call this second one the lesser obelisk. Aristar positioned himself at the main one, as befitted his seniority, and a student of his was given his station at the minor post. It was noon during our summer equinox, and the Alexandrian obelisk cast no shadow. Therefore Aristar had no work to do, again befitting his seniority. At exactly the same time, a sundial being in close proximity, the student measured the length of a considerable obelisk shadow that was thrown out by the sun. Back in Mesopotamia, later, Aristar positioned his wandering mind to the results of his test. He reasoned that the round earth caused the different angle, as only he would. And then he set to work with his trigonometry. Next, my favourite astronomer visited me, and I had to endure the fellow furnishing all of the results, measurements and equations and the conclusions of his experiment. I will spare you all of that, since it didn't make any sense, as it was based on the false premise of a round ball world. Instead, I will give you his conclusion. It was that the circumference of the ball is 25,000 miles. When Aristar finished explaining, and I finished laughing, I set my ludicrously daft fellow astronomer a new task, to take his experiment to the flat earth of reality and to come back with me with the result. Aristar went back to his study and began the work. This he had to do, because I am his employer. A week later, he came back to me with a rather sad look in his normally starry eyes. He informed me that on a flat earth the sun is about 3,000 miles away. It was exactly as I already knew. This finding now coincides with the teaching of the ancient gods and the knowledge of all the other astronomers in all the courts of all the kings in the civilized world. I sent my friend Aristar away, though, not with a flea in his ear, but with every encouragement to carry out new experiments. I did so because this latest episode had given me much amusement. The twinkle in the old man's eyes re-emerged, and off he went. Oh, happy days. I sat back. I ordered truffles, a delicate wine, and a dancing girl. My goodness, she was young. Yet I still pondered on this round thing. I considered that it was not quite new to me. I remembered how I once meditated in the innocence of youth, when in the soothing mind zone of the Great Pyramid. I swore at the time that I heard the gods whispering and chuckling at the circular thought of the very same phenomena. And so, now I'm thinking that this spherical shaping thing may indeed have some value. If we could just move forward, one tiptoe at a time. If we could employ our most persuasive scientists to gradually weave it into the fabric of society, there could be no finer example of mind control. What a great example of a grand secret it would be for our secret societies, because to hide the obvious. What is there for everyone's eyes and senses to plainly see and feel? That would be the funniest and the finest secret of all. Yes, yes, there is mileage in this sphere idea. There really is. Ah, now she's down to the last veil. My writings have come to a timely end.